I stood there frozen. The door was slightly open, just enough for me to hear everything. Her voice soft, intimate, like she belonged there. In my home, in my life, in my place. I told you she'd never find out, he said. My husband, the man I trusted with everything. My hand started shaking, not from fear, but from the realization that every moment, every memory, every I love you was a lie. I should have walked away. I should have left quietly, but I didn't. I pushed the door open, slowly, and when they saw me, everything stopped. The color drained from his face. Her smile disappeared, and for a split second, no one said a word. Then I looked at her, calm, too calm, and I asked the only question that mattered. How long? Silence. He tried to speak, tried to lie, tried to fix something that was already broken. But I didn't need answers anymore, because in that moment, I finally understood something. I wasn't losing my husband. I had already lost him, a long time ago. And what I was about to do next was something he would never see coming. The house was too quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet. Not the kind you feel after a long day. This silence felt wrong, like something had already happened, and I was the last one to know. I stood at the front door for a few seconds longer than I needed to. Keys still in my hand, heart beating just a little faster. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe I was just tired. That's what I kept telling myself. Because when you trust someone completely, you don't look for problems. You explain them away. I stepped inside. Ethan called out. No answer. Strange. His car was outside. Lights were on. I closed the door behind me slowly. The sound echoed through the hallway. Still nothing. Then I heard it. A faint sound. Stairs. Not loud. Not obvious. But enough. Enough to make my stomach tighten. I started walking. Slow. Careful. Each step heavier than the last. I didn't know why I felt like this. I didn't know what I was expecting to find. But something inside me was already preparing. Preparing for the truth. Halfway up the stairs, I stopped. There it was again. A voice. A woman's voice. Soft. Low. Too familiar in a way that made my chest tighten. I shouldn't have kept going. That would have been the easier choice. To turn around. To pretend I never heard anything. To protect whatever illusion I still had left. But I didn't. Because deep down I already knew. By the time I reached the top of the stairs, my hands were shaking. The bedroom door was slightly open. Just enough. Just enough to hear everything. I stood there. Not moving. Not breathing. And then I heard him. My husband. I told you she'd never find out. The words hit harder this time. Because now they were real. Not imagined. Not feared. Real. I closed my eyes for a second. And in that moment, 1,000 memories flashed through my mind. Our wedding. His smile. The way he held my hand. The way I believed him. All of it cracking. Breaking. Turning into something I didn't recognize anymore. I opened my eyes again. And slowly pushed the door. This time there was no hesitation. Because whatever was on the other side was already the end. The door opened. Slowly. And just like that, everything changed. They were standing too close. Closer than they should have been. Closer than any explanation could fix. Ethan turned first. His face drained of color. Eyes wide. Frozen. Like a man caught between two worlds, the lie and the truth. Emily, he said. My name sounded unfamiliar in his voice. Like he didn't deserve to say it anymore. I didn't answer. Because I wasn't looking at him. I was looking at her. And that's when my entire body went cold. No, it wasn't just another woman. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't someone distant. It was someone I knew. Someone I trusted. Someone who had sat at my table. Laughed with me. Shared my life. Sarah? My voice barely came out. She didn't move. Didn't speak. But the silence said everything. My best friend. The word echoed in my mind, but it didn't feel real anymore. Best friend. No, not anymore. Not after this. Not after them. How long? I asked again. This time my voice was steady. Too steady. Because something inside me had already shut down. Ethan stepped forward slightly. Emily, listen. Don't, I said. He stopped. because he heard it. There was no emotion left in my voice. No anger. No tears. Just distance. I looked at Sarah. She finally met my eyes. And for a brief moment I saw it. Guilt. But it wasn't enough. It would never be enough. We didn't mean for it to happen, she said softly. I almost laughed. Didn't mean for it to happen? Like it was an accident. Like betrayal just slipped. Then how did it happen? I asked. No one answered. Because there was no answer that could make sense. Only choices. Repeated. Deliberate. Painful. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. Frustrated. Cornered. It's not what you think, he said. There it was. The lie. The most predictable lie. I nodded slowly. You're right, I said. That caught him off guard. He blinked. I don't think anything anymore. A pause. Because now I know. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. I looked around the room. My room. Our room. But suddenly it didn't feel like mine anymore. Everything looked the same. But nothing was. I trusted you, I said quietly. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just truth. And somehow that made it worse. Ethan didn't respond. Because what could he say? That he was sorry? That it didn't mean anything? That it just happened? None of it mattered. Because the damage was already done. I took a step back. Then another. Not running. Not collapsing. Just leaving. Because I understood something now. Staying would hurt more. And I wasn't going to break in front of them. Not anymore. I didn't go far. Just down the stairs. Just far enough to breathe. My hands were still shaking. But my mind was getting clearer. Too clear. Because once the truth starts to surface, it doesn't stop. It connects. Every strange moment. Every uneasy feeling. Every time something didn't feel right. But I ignored it. Now it all made sense. I stood there in the living room, looking around. And suddenly, this house didn't feel like home anymore. Felt like a stage. A place where I had been living. Inside a lie. Footsteps. Behind me. Ethan. Of course. Emily, please just listen to me, he said. I didn't turn around. Did it start before or after our anniversary? I asked quietly. Silence. That was enough. Before, I whispered. I closed my eyes for a second. Our anniversary. The dinner. The flowers. The way he held my hand and said, I'm lucky to have you. And the whole time he was already lying. How long? I asked again. This time he answered. 6 months. The number didn't hit right away. But when it did, it hit hard. 6 months. Half a year of smiles. Of conversations. Of shared mornings and quiet nights. All fake. I let out a slow breath. And Sarah? I asked. My voice cracked slightly. Just once. Was she there the whole time? Another silence. Then, yes. Something inside me broke. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just completely. Because this wasn't just betrayal. This was something deeper. They didn't just hurt me. They built something behind my back. Together. In my life. Using my trust as the foundation. I turned slowly. And looked at him. Really looked. At the man I loved. And for the first time I didn't recognize him. Do you know what's the worst part? I asked. He didn't answer. So I told him. It's not that you cheated. A pause. It's that you made me feel safe. While you were doing it. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Unforgiving. Ethan looked down. Because he couldn't deny it. You invited her here, I continued. I glanced upstairs. Into the room. My house. Another step forward. My life. My voice dropped. My trust. Silence. Because now there was nothing left to explain. Nothing left to fix. I walked past him. Slowly. Not rushing. Because I wasn't running anymore. I was done. As I reached the door I stopped. Just for a second. Not to look back. But to say one last thing. You didn't break me, I said quietly. A pause. You just showed me who you really are. And this time I walked out. Without hesitation. Without looking back. The night felt colder than it should have been. I didn't bring a jacket. I didn't bring anything. Just myself. And whatever was left of me. The door closed behind me. And just like that, I had nowhere to go. I stood on the sidewalk for a long time, not moving, not thinking. Cars passed by. People walked past. The world kept going, like nothing had happened, like my life hadn't just collapsed. I checked my phone. No messages. Not from him. Not from her. Of course not. Why would there be? The truth was already out. There was nothing left to say. I opened my contacts. Scrolled. Names. Friends. People I knew. But suddenly, none of them felt like options. Because when your world breaks like that, you don't just lose a person. You lose trust. In everyone. In everything. I finally started walking. No direction. No destination. Just moving. Because standing still hurt too much. Hours passed. The sky turned darker. The air heavier. And eventually I stopped. A small motel. Flickering neon sign. Not the kind of place you choose. The kind you end up in. I stepped inside. The man at the front desk didn't ask questions. Didn't look surprised. Maybe he had seen this before. People like me. People who had nowhere else to go. I paid for the room. Room 17. The key felt heavier than it should have. Inside it was quiet. Too quiet. I placed my bag down. Sat on the edge of the bed. And for the first time since I left, I let myself feel it. Everything. The betrayal. The lies. The humiliation. Came all at once. And I couldn't hold it in anymore. Tears fell. Not soft. Not controlled. But real. Because this wasn't just about him. Or her. It was about me. About how I didn't see it. Didn't question it. Didn't protect myself. I trusted them, I whispered. My voice sounded broken. Because it was. I looked around the room. Empty walls. Cold light. Nothing familiar. Nothing mine. And that's when it hit me. I didn't just lose a relationship. I lost my home. My routine. My sense of stability. Everything I built my life around was gone. I lay back slowly, staring at the ceiling. And for a moment I felt something dangerous. Not anger. Not sadness. Something else. Emptiness. The kind that makes you question everything. Who you are. What you deserve. What comes next. I closed my eyes. And in that darkness, one thought kept repeating. What now? Silence. No answer. Just the sound of my own breathing. And the realization that tomorrow would come. Whether I was ready or not. Morning came too fast. I barely slept. Not because I couldn't, but because my mind refused to rest. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them. That room. That moment. That truth. I sat up slowly. The motel room looked even colder in daylight. Nothing had changed. Except me. I walked into the bathroom. Turned on the faucet. Cold water. I stared at my reflection. Puffy eyes. Tired face. Someone I didn't recognize. Is this who I am now? I whispered. No answer. Of course not. I grabbed my bag. I couldn't stay there. Not another minute. Outside, the city was already awake. People moving. Cars passing. Life continuing. And somehow that made it worse. As mine felt paused. I walked into the first cafe I saw. Warm light. Soft noise. The smell of coffee. Felt almost normal. I ordered something I didn't even want. Sat down by the window. And just stared. Lost. Until... You look like you didn't sleep. I blinked. Looked up. A woman stood there. Mid-40s. Sharp eyes. Confident posture. Not cold. But not soft either. Just real. I'm fine, I said automatically. She raised an eyebrow. No, you're not. I didn't respond. Because arguing would take energy I didn't have. She sat down across from me. Without asking. Bad breakup, she asked. I almost laughed. Something like that. She nodded. Cheating. I looked at her. Surprised. How did you? It's always the same look, she said calmly. A pause. Shock first. Then confusion. Then silence. She wasn't wrong. I looked down at my coffee. I trusted him, I said quietly. The words felt heavier now. Of course you did, she replied. I frowned slightly. That's the point of trust. She leaned forward. But here's the part no one tells you. I looked up. Trust doesn't protect you, she said. A beat. It reveals people. Silence. The words settled slowly. You didn't fail, she continued. You just finally saw the truth. I didn't know why, but something about that hit differently. Not comforting, but clear. So what am I supposed to do now? I asked. She didn't hesitate. Decide who you are without him. A pause. And then build from there. I stared at her. That sounds easy when you say it. She smiled slightly. It's not easy. Another pause. But neither is staying broken. Silence. For the first time since last night, something shifted. Not a big change. Not dramatic. Just a small crack in the emptiness. Why are you helping me? I asked. She stood up. Because I've been you before. She placed money on the table, then looked at me one last time. And I know exactly what happens next. A pause. If you choose not to stay where you are. And then she walked away. Just like that. No name. No explanation. But her words stayed. Echoing. Building. Because for the first time I wasn't thinking about them. I was thinking about myself. I didn't go back. Not to the motel. Not to the house. Not to anything that reminded me of who I used to be. Instead, I kept walking. The city felt different now. Still loud. Still fast. Still indifferent. But this time I wasn't lost in it. I was moving with it. I stopped in front of a small co-working space. Glass doors. Minimal design. People inside working quietly. Normal. Focused. Alive. I stood there for a moment. Then I walked in. The receptionist looked up. Can I help you? I hesitated. Just for a second. Then I said it. I need a desk. The words felt simple. But they weren't. Because this was the first decision I made for myself. Not for a relationship. Not for someone else. For me. She smiled. Day pass or monthly? I paused. Then, monthly. Even I was surprised by my answer. But it felt right. Commitment. Not to a person, but to a direction. Hours later, I sat at a clean desk. Laptop open. Blank screen. No plan. No roadmap. Just possibility. I took a deep breath. Then started typing. First it was messy. Thoughts. Ideas. Fragments. Skills I had. Things I used to be good at. Things I gave up. For a life that no longer existed. Slowly it became clearer. I wasn't starting from zero. I had experience. Understanding. Awareness. Things I didn't appreciate before now felt like tools. And for the first time, I saw something I hadn't seen in a long time. Value. My value. The hours passed quickly. No distractions. No interruptions. Just focus. Just movement. Until my phone buzzed. I froze. Because I already knew who it was. Ethan. Of course. I stared at the screen. His name felt distant. Like it belonged to someone else's life. The message popped up. We need to talk. I didn't open it. Didn't reply. Because for the first time I didn't feel the urge to. Not anger. Not curiosity. Nothing. And that silence, that distance felt like power. I turned the phone face down. And went back to work. Because whatever he wanted to say now didn't matter anymore. Not to the person I was becoming. He didn't stop. One message became 5. 5 became 10. Missed calls. Voicemails. All from Ethan. I didn't respond to any of them. First, it was difficult. Not because I wanted to go back. But because I was used to answering. Used to caring. Used to being there. But habits break. And this one needed to. The next morning, I walked out of the co-working space. Coffee in hand. Mind clear. And then I saw him. Leaning against my car. Like he belonged there. Like nothing had changed. My steps slowed. But I didn't stop. Emily. His voice. Still familiar. Still dangerous. I kept walking. Emily, please. He said, pushing himself off the car. I stopped. Not because of him. But because I chose to. I turned. He looked tired. Not the confident man from before. Not the man who thought he had everything under control. Something was different. You didn't answer me, he said. I nodded slightly. I know. That threw him off. You know, he repeated. Yes. Silence. Because he didn't expect that. He expected anger, emotion, reaction, something he could work with. But I gave him nothing. Can we talk? He asked. I looked at him, really looked, and for the first time I didn't feel anything. No, I said. Simple, clear, final. His expression tightened. Emily, it's not that simple. It is for me. A pause. You owe me a conversation, he added. That made me stop. Not because I agreed, but because of what he said. Oh, I stepped closer. Slowly. You lost the right to that, I said quietly. His jaw clenched. I made a mistake, he said. There it was. The word people use to make betrayal sound smaller. I shook my head slightly. No, I said. You made a choice. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. He ran a hand through his hair. Sarah doesn't mean anything, he said quickly. That almost made me smile. Almost. Then why did you risk everything for her? I asked. He didn't answer. Because he couldn't. Because there was no answer that wouldn't expose the truth. I ended it, he said suddenly. I blinked. You what? I told her it's over, he said. A pause. I want to fix this. Fix. Like it was something broken you could repair. Like trust could be glued back together. I stepped back, creating distance. Do you hear yourself? I asked. He looked frustrated now. I'm trying, Emily. No, I said calmly. You're reacting. A beat. Because you're losing control. That hit him hard. Because it was true. For the first time, he wasn't deciding how things went. He wasn't leading. He was chasing. And he didn't like it. I'm not losing you, he said. I held his gaze. Steady. Unshaken. You already did. Silence. No argument. No denial. Because deep down he knew. I turned. Walked past him. This time without stopping. Without hesitation. And for the first time he didn't follow. Because something had changed. Not in him. But in me. I thought it was over. I thought the worst had already happened. That I had seen everything. But I was wrong. Because sometimes what you discover first is only the surface. 2 days later I was at my desk. Focused. Working. Building something new. When my phone buzzed again. Not Ethan. An unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. But something told me don't. Picked up. Hello. Silence. Then a voice. Low. Careful. Is this Emily? Yes, a pause. My name is Laura, she said. I didn't recognize it. I think you need to know something about Ethan. My grip tightened slightly. Not fear. Not panic. Something else. Awareness. What is it? I asked. Another pause. He didn't just cheat on you. The words landed. Cold. He's been lying about a lot more. Silence. I didn't interrupt. Because I needed to hear everything. All those late nights, she continued. It wasn't just work. My mind started connecting pieces. Meetings that didn't exist. Trips that didn't make sense. Calls he wouldn't explain. What are you saying? I asked. Her voice dropped slightly. I used to work with him. A beat. In his company. Something shifted. And then she said it. He's in serious trouble. The room felt still. What kind of trouble? Another pause. Financial. The word echoed. But not just bad decisions, she added. Her voice turned sharper. Illegal ones. My heart skipped. No, that's not possible, I said instinctively. But even as I said it, I wasn't sure anymore. There are accounts, she continued. Money that doesn't add up. Transactions that were hidden. And Sarah. She stopped. What about Sarah? I asked. Silence. Then, she's not just someone he's seeing. A pause. She's involved. Everything went quiet. Not outside. Inside me. Because suddenly, this wasn't just betrayal. This was something bigger. Something darker. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Laura didn't hesitate this time. Because, if this goes public, a beat. You'll be part of it too. My breath caught. What do you mean? You're still legally connected to him, she said. Assets. accounts, history, a pause. If he falls, her voice lowered, you might fall with him. Silence. Heavy. Real. And just like that, everything changed again. This wasn't just about leaving. It wasn't just about moving on. This was about survival. Because the man I trusted with everything was hiding a life I never saw. And now that life was about to collapse. I didn't call him. Not after what I heard. Not after what I knew. Because this was no longer about us. It was about me. About what I was going to do next. I sat there for a long time. Phone still in my hand. Laura's words replaying in my head. Illegal. Hidden. Collapse. Each word heavier than the last. I could walk away. Pretend none of it was my problem. Disappear. Start over. And for a moment that sounded easy. But easy was how I ended up here in the first place. Trusting without questioning. Staying without seeing. Not anymore. I picked up my phone. This time I didn't hesitate. Laura, I said when she answered. I need everything you have. Silence. Then, are you sure? She asked. I looked out the window. The city was moving. Fast. Unforgiving. Just like the truth. Yes. My voice was calm. Steady. Because if he's going down. A pause. I'm not going with him. Hours later, I sat across from her. Papers spread across the table. Emails. Transactions. Records. Proof. Not rumors. Not suspicions. Facts. And the more I looked, the clearer it became. This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern. Calculated. Repeated. Hidden behind confidence. Hidden behind lies. Hidden behind the man I thought I knew. I leaned back slowly. And for the first time I didn't feel pain. I felt clarity. This is enough, I said quietly. Laura studied me. What are you going to do? I didn't answer right away. Because the answer mattered. Not just for him, but for me. Finally I spoke. I'm ending this. A pause. Completely. Not emotionally. Not just physically. Legally. Financially. Everything. Because I understood something now. Walking away wasn't enough. I had to separate myself from everything he was about to become. Days later I saw his name on the news, not as a headline I was proud of, but as a warning. Investigation. Fraud. Financial misconduct. The words felt distant, like they belonged to another life. And in a way they did. My phone buzzed again. Ethan. One last message. You knew. And you didn't tell me? I stared at it. Not angry. Not hurt. Just done. Then I typed. I trusted you once. That was enough. I pressed send. And this time there was no hesitation. No second thoughts. No looking back. I put my phone down. Closed my laptop. And walked outside. The air felt different. Lighter. Not because everything was fixed. But because I didn't lose my life. I found it. And this time it was mine.